Welcome to Across the Balkans. Great to have you with us on the show. I'm Nafisa Latic. The case of Croatian citizens who went to Zambia to adopt children has made headlines around the world. Earlier this year, 4 couples were arrested in Zambia on suspicions of child trafficking, despite only going there to pick up the kids they had adopted. They arrived in Zambia with what they thought were proper documents and Croatian passports for the children. But according to Croatian Foreign Ministry officials, just as the couples and the children were about to board their flight, they were stopped by a migration officer. The case lasted 2 months, most of which the Croatians spent in detention. Although it's over now, Croatia's foreign minister says there is no information on the whereabouts of the children, who are now Croatian citizens. Veljko Skenderija went to Zagreb to find out more for us.
It was only meant to be a short trip to secure an adoption. 4 Croatian couples would return from Zambia with the children they adopted from an orphanage in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. But what was supposed to make their dreams of parenthood come true instead landed them in a Zambian prison on charges of child trafficking.
This is not the first case, so the risks was known to Croatian authorities, but they didn't do anything to warn its own citizens to avoid such risks in international adoptions.
Croatian parents have adopted more than 100 children from developing countries. And despite a similar case back in 2013 surrounding another adopted Congolese child, the state has failed to warn citizens about the possible risks.
Naravno, ne možemo se miješati u sam postupak koji vodi njihov sud i Ministarstvo vanjskih i europskih poslova dalje će nastavljati pružati punu konzularnu zaštitu, pomoć, uključujući i dobave lijekova, hrane i svih onih potrepština koje će njima biti potrebne. Nadam se ne za još jedno dugo vremensko razdoblje.
What a long period of time means for Croatian officials is not entirely clear, but the 8 Croatians, as well as their legally adopted children, have now been in legal limbo for more than 4 months. Children remain in a shelter at an unknown location, while the adoptive parents are switched back and forth between house arrest and prison.
So in my view, they should be discharged from these proceedings, and they should be let go back to Croatia, as well as the children whom they adopted. According to Croatian law, all their documents are valid, and they have their Croatian citizens.
Marshall says that the Zambian Anti-Trafficking Act does not have a provision by which adopting a child can even be considered child trafficking, which means the Zambian prosecution simply does not have a case. Still, why are aspiring Croat parents going to Zambia?
In Croatia, there are around 200 children who are living in temporary homes and other institutions while they wait for a permanent place to stay. At the same time, more than 1,100 couples and individuals have been anxiously waiting for years to adopt a child, mostly without success. And that is the main reason why Croats have decided to look elsewhere in places like Africa. For them, it is not child trafficking, but a reaction to a slow system. And questions are arising. Why hundreds of children already needing a home can't find one?
An adoption support association in Croatia says the answer is the system, and it's calling on the state to urgently adopt a legal framework so that children are not dragged through institutions for years while potential adopters wait in line.
Moramo motivirati sustav da sve učine da se skrati taj boravak djece i čekanje i da se taj matching između djeteta i posvojitelja riješi u roku pola godine.
But how things look like right now is perhaps best illustrated by Siniša's case. He and his wife tried to adopt a child, went through all the procedures. But along the way, they realized it's an impossible mission since Siniša is bound to a wheelchair.
realno ne postoji način da se to učini. Ako ste osoba s invaliditetom, imate pravo pristupiti, imate pravo se kandidirati, ali vam, u ovom slučaju neformalno mi je rečeno, ne službeno, ali kad bi krenuli kroz cijeli postupak posvajanja, objašnjeno je da kolege razmišljaju na taj način da jednostavno ne bismo došli u obzir.
And this came despite the fact that more than 200 Croatian children spend their years scattered around institutions and eventually grow up inside the system without parental attention or the warmth of a home.
Razgovarao sam s mnogim ljudima i zapravo smo shvatili da čak i ljudi koji imaju apsolutno, recimo, savršenu situaciju životnu, ne mogu posvojiti dijete i po 10-15 godina i da se možda u sustavu posvoji 10-ak djece godišnje. To su jako male brojke, djece po domovima, krca, to je sve skupa.
A couple in a considerably better position are Miro and Aida, but the uncertainty also pushed them to adopt a child in Zambia, and they find any talk of trafficking simply absurd.
Ne može biti trgovina djecom ako smo svi u kontaktu s biološkim roditeljima. Ne može biti trgovina djecom ako smo mi sa čistom namjerom iz ljubavi išli to napraviti. Ne može biti trgovina djecom ako se svi ti OIB-i znaju, ako su naša djeca uključena u aktivnosti, školu, vrtiće, treninge, predstave. Znači, tog jednostavno nema.
Nisam ni znala da možeš nekog toliko voljeti, da možeš prema nekom osjećati toliku količinu ljubavi.
More than 1,000 other couples and individuals are now hoping that the plight of the 8 Croats detained in Zambia will be a wake-up call for changes.
Hoćemo da sada na ovom valu, po onoj definiciji svaka kriza je prilika, da na tom valu se zaista konkretno, mislim da je krajnje vrijeme, previše su djeca, bilo hrvatski državljani, bilo strani državljani u smislu ovih međudržavnih posvojenja, previše su djeca propatila da bi mi sada dozvolili da se bilo tko od nas uspava.
Croatian authorities have announced changes to the law to favor faster adoptions, but whether and when they will come into force is another matter.
Pa kao i sve u Hrvatskoj, birokracija, papirologija, svima je to važnije od samog učinka zakona ili propisa i tako dalje. A iako su svima puna usta toga da su im najvažnija djeca, njihova dobrobit, zapravo se iz sustava vidi da su im najvažnije njihove pozicije, njihovi poslovi, njihova vlastita egzistencija i da rade što manje, a djeca kad dođu na red, dođu na red.
And that's only if they ever get their turn for a new beginning and a home. Veljko Skenderija, TRT World, Zagreb, Croatia.